All right, recruiting brought to you by Seawells here on Sports Talk. And tomorrow, of course, is a big Thursday here on Sports Talk, and also big Thursday at Seawells. What do we got?
We got Thanksgiving with carved turkey with cornbread dressing, and then we got Italian with lasagna, and then a little bit of Southern food with Southern fried chicken.
Wow.
Kind of all over the place. And then Friday is roast beef Friday, teriyaki salmon, and fried chicken again.
It's called, being an international traveler, we call that an eclectic menu.
I was going to say smorgasbord.
I think eclectic.
A little bit of everything.
Eclectic
I like
sounds.
eclectic.
But
though.
smorgasbord's good, too. Smorgasbord that's a big word.
Well, it's just the Swedish version of buffet.
That's
I
like
correct,
it.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah. All right, so that's the next 2 days at Seawells. So if you're in Columbia, you're thinking, Marcia, where are we going to have lunch today? You want to go to Seawells, 11 till 2, and you will come out of there full, okay? Make plans to be full when you finish. Don't go in there if you're on a diet, okay? If you're doing one of those diet plans, nah, not for you. And for the very best in the catering business, that would be Seawells as well. Let them help make your event a memorable experience. And you can reach them at 803-771-7385 and online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. Okay, recruiting-wise tonight, got a bunch of recruiting notes for you. Been that kind of day, and a lot of little nuggets to pass along. So let's get right to it. Shane Beamer, he issued one of his commitment alerts this afternoon. Quote, some awesome midweek news heading into a huge, all caps, official visit weekend Friday is what he posted on X. His post came a few minutes after one of his top targets, defensive end Tayshawn Austin, 6'4", 217 of Henderson, North Carolina, posted on X that he will announce his college choice Friday night at 6 o'clock at his high school. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. Austin's coming off an official visit to North Carolina. He made his official visit to USC the first weekend of the month. In between, he visited Rutgers. He canceled an official visit to Virginia Tech for this weekend. He also visited USC for the spring game in April. He also made multiple visits to Columbia in 2003, including multiple game visits. Major target for South Carolina is back on the market. Defensive end Isaiah Gibson of Warner Robins, Georgia, decommitted from Southern Cal yesterday after being committed to them since March. This month, he has visited Georgia, USC, Auburn, and Tennessee. He's at Ohio State today, and he goes to Oklahoma this weekend. Clemson target, wide receiver Cortez Mills, who canceled an official visit to Miami for this coming weekend, has now set one with LSU. He has taken officials to Clemson, Florida, and Oklahoma. You see, and this is sort of the sad part to me of recruiting coverage now, and also recruiting conversation among the fans, because the people who cover Clemson, or some, or at least one individual, writes about the kid looking for the highest bid now that has not yet committed to Clemson. Of course, if he commits to Clemson, it's not because Clemson outbid anybody. It's because Clemson makes you the whole person. It's all about the whole person and not about the bag. This is what they tell you at Clemson. But if you go somewhere else, it's all about the bag. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think that's unfair to the recruits unless you know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm. I think it's very unfair. That's why, again, I hesitate trying to paint all these guys with the same brush. But
it may be as simple, not only just the school has the major they want or they like the campus, they may actually be going there because their best friend they played with in high school is actually going to that same school.
Possibly. New offers from Clemson went out to 2026 linebacker Duwan Forkpa, 6'2", 220 of Houston, Georgia. 2026 receiver Tavion Wilson, 6'3", 205 of Huntington, West Virginia. And 2026 receiver Ryan Mosley, 6'2", 175 of Carrollton, Georgia. Receiver Gio Contosis of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, named the final six of USC, Indiana, Maryland, Tennessee, Pitt, and Cincinnati. He's taken visits to Cincinnati and Indiana this month. USC target defensive end Jaquavius Dodd of Eastside will take an official to Virginia Tech this weekend. He has been to Virginia and UConn for other officials this month. USC target cornerback Jameer Joseph of Montvale, New Jersey, committed to Penn State. He was scheduled for USC this weekend. Obviously, that won't happen. USC offered 2026 running back Jason Franklin of Fayetteville, North Carolina, following a camp session last week, and 2026 offensive tackle Michael Smith, 6'6", 315, of Vero Beach, Florida. USC target 2026 linebacker Shadarius Tootle was offered by Oklahoma. Clemson target offensive tackle Mario Nash was at Ohio State Monday. He's also been to Clemson, LSU, and Ole Miss this month, going to Mississippi State this weekend. Clemson target 2026 quarterback Brady Hart committed to Michigan. Hart was one of two quarterbacks offered by Clemson quarterbacks coach Garrett Riley following a camp session this month. The other was Tate Reynolds, 6'4", 195, Queen Creek, Arizona. He's also a major prospect in baseball. Some of his other football offers: West Virginia, Texas A&M, Baylor, Duke, Minnesota, Kansas, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Washington, Tennessee, Arizona, Florida State, Oregon, Oregon State, Kansas State, Iowa State, BYU, Washington State, and Oklahoma State. Did I leave anybody out there, Chris? Did I get them all?
I think you had everybody.
Yeah. Clemson target 26 defensive tackle Bryce Perry Wright, Buford, Georgia, offered by Georgia. J.O. Man receiver Keyshawn Henderson to announce on July 4th. Gardner Webb, Lenore Ryan, North Carolina Central, the finalists. 26 offensive tackle Zion Giles of Carvers Bay was offered by Miami. He also has offers from USC, Clemson, Florida State, Duke, Georgia, NC State, Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech. 26 receiver Donovan Murph of Irmo was offered by Illinois. You know who the receivers coach at Illinois is now?
I should.
Justin Stepp.
One of Carolina's guys.
Justin Stepp. Yeah.
Yes.
26 Jalen McGill, 26 running back Jalen McGill of Mountain View Prep was offered by Auburn. South Carolina native 2027 quarterback Mason Holtzclaw was offered by Georgia Tech and Florida State. Defensive back Brandon Rose of Charlotte committed to Coastal Carolina. Baseball, Indiana State transfer outfielder Dominic Listy committed to Clemson, named second-team All-MVC and to the NCAA tournament, Lexington Regional All-Tournament team. He had 324 this past season. USC right-handed pitcher Drake Quinn is transferring. Spent the season with USC after 3 at Marist. Had no record this season in 9 appearances. Citadel right-hander Sam Swigert is transferring to Georgia Tech. Upstate outfielder Kobe Croft is transferring to Vanderbilt. Following are the prospects who have expressed plans for official visits to USC this weekend. Of course, this list is subject to change, deletions, and additions. Linebacker Donovan Darden, defensive tackle Eric Thomas, defensive end Bryce Davis, quarterback Cutter Woods. That's one I would certainly keep a close watch on for South Carolina moving forward. Defensive end Anthony Addison is a commitment. Offensive tackle Shed Surratt, who's a commitment. Safety DeMarcus Leach, who's a commitment. Receiver Jaden Sellers, who's a commitment. And we've had safety Kendall Daniels down for an official visit this weekend. That's the strangest one because at one point certainly appeared as if he were going to commit to South Carolina. This is going back a month or so ago, 6 weeks ago. But he held off on making his announcement. He had an announcement date and everything. He had a short list that included South Carolina. But he has definitely gone silent since then, and there's been very little news. Can't reach him. There's been very little news about his recruiting since then. So we've had him on the list for a visit this coming weekend. We'll see if it happens. And we'll be back.